Kristen Martin here, pediatric occupational therapist and mom, and I am here to continue to give you some tips on fun ways to play with common household items. And today we're going to talk about 5 ways to play with plastic eggs. So at this time of the year, we might be pulling these out if we're going to be doing some kind of an egg hunt coming up. A lot of the stores are carrying them, or they will have them on clearance after Easter is over with. So it's a great time to stock up on these plastic eggs because there's a lot that you can do with them. I know for me personally, I can never find mine year after year. I hide them somewhere and then I don't know where they are, so I end up buying more. So then I end up with hundreds of these things. So they're a great tool for so many things, and I'm going to talk about some fun ways that we can use them in activities and some of the benefits that these have. And so these activities are things that you can do with kids of multiple ages if you have multiple ages in your house. I'm going to talk about different ways to change them up to meet the needs of all different children. So the first way that we can play with these eggs is to do what we would traditionally think of, which is an egg hunt. And usually candy is hidden in these eggs for an egg hunt, which is always awesome. But there's some other things that you can hide inside of the eggs to add a little bit of an educational twist and to make it fun in the meantime, because kids really love hiding and finding eggs. You can hide these in your house all over the place. If you want to make it a big hunt, you can hide it outside, have your kids run around. So this is a great indoor or outdoor activity. And some of the other things that you can hide inside of these eggs are math problems or letters, shapes, numbers just on little pieces of paper, anything that your child might be working on. They could also be little toys. For a fun tip, I also like to hide a few eggs with a special treat in them. It can be something small like a chocolate chip or a couple of your child's favorite snacks. And I don't tell them how many of those eggs have the special treat in them, because what I want them to do is go and find all the eggs, put them in a basket, and then open them up one at a time and answer whatever question I have in there, whether it's to identify a color or a shape or a letter. And then every so often they'll get rewarded with a little treat because they don't know which eggs have the special prize in them. So that's a fun way to customize your own egg hunt. The second way that we can play with plastic eggs is to use them during snack time. And we can make a really fun snack out of these. First of all, I'd recommend just washing whatever eggs you're going to be putting food inside of. But then you can use either an empty egg carton, or I didn't happen to have one on hand, so I'm just using a mini muffin pan. And you can line the eggs up and put little snacks in them. Now, the snacks that you choose for this game can be a mix of snacks that your child really likes and maybe some newer foods or foods that they kind of like. And then you can just have your child open them up and eat them if they want to, or you can play a game where you kind of shake them and try and figure out what might be in them. The eggs have little holes at the top, so you can give it a little smell to try and guess what might be in it. And then your child can open up the egg. And like I said, opening eggs and closing them in itself is great fine motor work. So they can open up the egg, they can eat the snack. If it's a snack that they're not sure of, you can give them a little learning plate, as I like to call it. So just a plate in front of them that they can put that food on if they're not sure about it and they just want to have it out there to look at. A lot of times the kids will reach in there with a nice neat pincer grasp, pick up the food, and then put it on the plate, which is some extra fine motor work, and then just some extra exposure to food without pressure to eat it. So that's a really fun way to do a snack time with these eggs. The third way that we can play with these plastic eggs is to throw them in the bathtub with your child. I don't know about you, but there have been days where I have just stuck my kids in the tub at noon just because they really like taking baths. It's a rainy day, we need something to do, but many kids really love bath time. So these make a super fun toy to play with in the tub. And to make it even more fun, you can add like some big spoons, some bowls. They can make some special soup with the eggs. They can scoop the eggs out of the tub and dump them in. They can fill the eggs with different small toys and open them up. And so this is just a great way to add to what's already a really fun sensory experience. For kids, a lot of times bath time is really relaxing, so they might be more willing to open and close the eggs during bath time or practice with the spoon while they're already relaxed in that tub. So the fourth way that I like to play with these plastic eggs is to use them for stamping and painting. So to stamp with them, you just open them up. They make a perfect circle. You just dip them in paint. If you don't have paint, you can use any kind of pureed food or dips like ketchup or something. You dip it in and then you just stamp it all over a piece of paper to make a bunch of circles. That's a fun way to do it. You can add a dice if you want to roll the dice and then have your child stamp that many circles on it. And another way to use these for painting is just to dip the whole egg into paint, and then you can put it in like an open box, kind of like this one. You put a piece of paper at the bottom of it, you dip the egg in paint, you add it in, and then you roll it around to make a cool painting on the paper. You can put it in a covered container as well with a piece of paper and some paint and shake it up. Practice just shaking it. You can roll it to each other if it's something like an oatmeal container. So there's a lot of different ways that you can paint with these and make a little craft project with them as well. And then the fifth and final way that I like to play with these eggs is to use them as a memory game. And so you're just going to open them up and just use half of the egg. And then you can just hide all sorts of household objects under these in pairs, just like you would for memory, because you want your child to try and find two of the same items by lifting up. And this is great for turn taking with a grown-up or another sibling. I also like to hide like food items underneath. So if they happen to get a goldfish, then they can eat it. Or it can be kind of a novel food item that they're not sure about, so like frozen vegetables or something like that. And you can just play a fun memory game with that. To make it a little more educational, you can also hide like letters on pieces of paper or numbers, math problems, things like that. But this makes a really fun and different kind of memory game. So I hope that I've given you a couple of fun ideas outside of your traditional egg hunt that you can use with these plastic Easter eggs, and I hope that everyone has a great week. I'll be back soon with another round of 5 ways to play. All right, bye.